I grew up in a place where dreams felt like luxuries, a small village in a struggling country where my mother worked tirelessly just to keep food on the table. I had one dream: to go to college, to escape the poverty that clung to my skin like a second layer. But dreams cost money, and money was something I never had. When my best friend, Lila, told me about an opportunity to earn a life-changing sum, I listened. She spoke of foreigners, wealthy, pale-skinned people from a country far away, who paid young women to carry their babies. Surrogacy, she called it. They would house us, feed us, and provide for our every need until we gave birth. Then, we would return home, pockets full, futures secured. It sounded too good to be true. It was. I told my mother I had found a job in the city and left with nothing but a small bag of clothes and the blind hope that I was making the right choice. The moment we arrived at the facility, my stomach twisted into knots. It was a massive estate hidden deep in the woods, far from civilization. The women there, all young, all poor, wore loose, white dresses and moved like ghosts through the long hallways. At first, they were kind. The doctors, the caretakers, the smiling foreign couple who promised I would be well cared for. They took my blood, checked my vitals, and gave me vitamins. For the baby, they said. We want you healthy. Then came the rules. No phones, no letters home, no stepping beyond the gates. For your safety, they assured us. We were not to ask about the others, the ones who had been here longer than us. I listened, until I didn't. One night, as I wandered the halls, I noticed a heavy metal door slightly ajar. A basement. Something inside me whispered, "Don't go down there." But I did. The stench hit me first. A cold, chemical smell that burned my nose. The room was massive, lined with rows upon rows of refrigerated chambers. I pressed my hand against one and peered inside. Tiny forms, suspended in a frozen blue haze, hundreds of them. Embryos. I turned, bile rising in my throat. And then I saw them. Women like me, lying in metal beds, tubes running into their arms. They weren't asleep. They weren't even unconscious. They were empty. I stumbled backward, my breath shallow. That's when I saw her. Lila. She was hooked to a machine, her skin pale and stretched tight over her bones. Her stomach was flat, unnaturally so, as though something had been taken from her. I clamped a hand over my mouth to stifle the scream, threatening to tear free. A soft voice spoke behind me. You weren't supposed to see this. I whirled around. The foreign couple stood in the doorway, their smiles gone. They're not just babies, the woman said, stepping closer. They're life. The man gestured toward the frozen embryos. They hold something precious, something that keeps us young, that keeps us alive. I backed away, my knees trembling. And the mothers? The woman sighed, as if I had asked a foolish question. Organs are valuable, my dear. We take what we need. Waste not, want not. Tears blurred my vision. And the babies. The man's lips curled into something that wasn't quite a smile. Ah, the babies. That's the real secret, you see. Their stem cells contain the essence of youth. We extract it, refine it, and sell it to the highest bidders. I shook my head in horror. You kill them? Not exactly, the woman answered. We harvest them before they fully develop. Their cells are pure, untouched by time, free of disease. The rich will pay anything to stay young. A single injection can erase 20 years. My stomach lurched. You're monsters, the man chuckled. We're businessmen. Our clients are politicians, celebrities, billionaires. You'd be surprised how many people you admire have taken the elixir. I ran. I don't know how I made it past the guards, how I scaled the fence with the fear pounding in my veins like fire. But I ran until my feet bled, until I collapsed in the middle of a dirt road, gasping, sobbing, knowing I could never go back. I told the authorities. They dismissed me, said I was delirious, that such horrors didn't happen in civilized places. The rich protect their own, after all. But I know the truth. Somewhere, in a cold, underground room, Leela sleeps in an eternal prison. Her body harvested, her life stolen. And the rich? They stay young forever. At what cost? I couldn't let it go. I spent months researching, collecting evidence. The more I dug, the clearer it became. Celebrities, politicians, powerful elites, all seemed to defy time. Their wrinkles disappeared overnight. Some who had been aging naturally for years suddenly looked decades younger. The elixir of youth was real, and they were using it. I started speaking out, warning young women of the dangers. I told them about the clinics, about the farms where they kept us like cattle. I told them what happened to Lila, what almost happened to me. Some believed me, others laughed, called me a lunatic, but I kept going. I created secret networks, helped women escape before they fell into the trap. I worked tirelessly, whispering the truth to anyone who would listen. I knew I was making enemies, knew that powerful people wanted me silenced, and yet I couldn't stop. One day they will find me. The rich do not like their secrets exposed. I live knowing that each breath I take might be my last, but as long as I breathe, I will fight. For Lila, for the ones who never got away, for the ones still trapped in the cold embrace of that facility, waiting to be harvested, because the truth is worth dying for.
Like, subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon to never miss a scare.